Hi, I'm Elizabeth from the website EnglishGrammarRevolution.com, a website that teaches grammar with sentence diagramming. And in this tutorial, I will show you how I make my sentence diagrams using Photoshop. Ready? Here we go. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is open Photoshop, obviously. So once you have Photoshop open, you need to start a new file. You go to File, New. Here we are with our blank space for our sentence diagram. The first thing I'll do here is just write out the sentence that I'm going to diagram, which is Mary kicked the ball over the wall. Okay. Before you even start your sentence diagram, there's a little bit of mental work that you need to do. The first thing you need to do is find what I call the bones of the diagram. So by that I mean the subject, the verb, and if there are any verb complements. So is there a direct object? Is there a predicate adjective or a predicate noun? And we will do that here with this sentence. Mary kicked the ball over the wall. Our subject is Mary. Our verb is kicked. And kicked is a transitive active verb, which means it's transferring its action to a receiver. What's receiving the action? What's being kicked? The ball. Ball is the direct object. So our bare bones here of this sentence, Mary kicked a ball. And those are the first things we're going to diagram. Click on this T because we're going to be writing text. So we want this horizontal type tool. Put your cursor on your file there, and if you know much about Photoshop, you know that every time you do that, you start a new layer. You can see down here in the bottom right corner is the little spot that shows you what layers you have open. So as soon as we did that, it opened a new layer. So for this layer, we will write our bare bones. Mary kicked ball. Okay. Now, the reason we only have these words on this layer is because all of these are on one single horizontal line, and that is exactly how they will be in our final diagram. So we want them to just all be on one layer. Subject, verb, direct object. Okay, lovely. So we're done with those words. Now, I'm just going to hide this layer here and show you the sentence again. We have Mary, we have kicked, we have ball. Okay, now let's look at the word the. You have to figure out what the is doing. The is an adjective and it's telling us more about this noun, ball. Okay, so we know that it goes on a slanted line under this direct object, ball. Let's go back to our diagram. And I have my T selected over here. I'm going to click my cursor below the word ball, and notice that when I did that, it started a new layer. So the word the will be on a different layer than Mary kicked ball. This isn't quite right. The word the doesn't go on a horizontal line under ball, it goes on a slanted line. So we need to slant this word the. And in order to do that, come up to the top toolbar here and go to Image. Oops, just kidding. Go to Edit, and then go down to Transform, and then go down to Rotate. So Edit, Transform, Rotate, and it will select whatever you had your cursor on before. So now you notice I have this little box here and an arrow. I'm going to click on the arrow, hold it down, and slant the word the. So there we go. Now I need to apply that transformation. That slant that we did is called a transformation. And as soon as I click on something else, I usually click on this arrow in the upper left box over here, and it says apply the transformation. That just means, do you want to keep that word slanted? And we do, so we hit apply. Now since I have this thing selected over here, I can move this word around if I want. And you'll notice that it's highlighted, the word the is highlighted down here in my layers palette, so I know that I'm working with that layer, so I can move it all around. Okay, good. We have Mary kicked the ball. we had more to our sentence. What else did we have? Let's look back at that again. Mary kicked the ball over the wall. Now we have to decide what over the wall is. Over the wall is a prepositional phrase. Over is the preposition. Wall is the object of the preposition. It's a noun. And the word the, again, is telling us about a noun. So we know it's a prepositional phrase, but what does it modify? Prepositional phrases act as adjectives or adverbs. This prepositional phrase is acting as an adverb. It's telling us where we kicked the ball. Where did you kick the ball? Over the wall. So we know that it's going to come under the word kicked because it's modifying kicked. We're going to start a new layer. And all we're going to write on this layer is over, because we want to make that slanted again. So we go to Edit, Transform, Rotate. I can rotate. I'm going to click on this arrow again to move it over. And now I need to start a new layer, so I go to my T again. Object of the preposition is wall. The is an adjective modifying wall. And we make it slanted just like we did before. Edit, transform, rotate. Turn it till I have it how I want it. Click on the arrow, apply the transformation. Okay, so there's my diagram. That's how I want it to look, but you'll notice I'm missing something very important, the lines. Now we need to make the lines that go in between everything. So I click on this line tool over here. Now I know I need to make a line across all of these. So what I do is click here, and after you click, if you hold the Shift key down, it will make your line straight. So that's what I do. I click here, I click the Shift key, and I draw my line. I let go of both the Shift key and my mouse, and there I have my line. Now I need a line separating the subject from the verb. There we go. And another line separating the verb from the direct object. Now I need to make a slanted line for the word the. I don't use the Shift key now because I'm not going to be making it horizontal or vertical. I click on where I want it to come, hold it down, and you see if you hold your mouse key down, it pretty much just follows you around until you let it go. So I hold it down, and I go, there we go, perfect. And I come over here, make another one, and I don't worry so much about getting it exactly where I want it because I can always move this word. So now I have my line for my preposition. I'm going to make another horizontal line here, so I click once with my mouse, hold my Shift key down, make a horizontal line, then make another slanted line. Now, you'll notice this is not how we want it to look. We want the word over to be up a little bit. So what I do is I click on my T tool again, and if you click on that tool and you click over a word you already made, it just selects that layer. So you just put your mouse not right next to the letters, but anywhere else on your screen, and you can move that wherever you want. So I move it right to my line, and I want to do the same thing with the. Click on your letter again and move it to where you want it. Sometimes also my lines aren't exactly fitting the angle that I have the letters on, so what I will do is just again I'll click on the word the, and I will go to Edit, Transform, Rotate again, and I'll just move it until it fits the line exactly how I want it to fit. And I want to apply the transformation. So there we are. There is your sentence diagram with Photoshop. Subject, verb, direct object, adjective, preposition, noun or object of the preposition, and then we have the word the. So there you have it. That is how you make a sentence diagram in Photoshop, or at least it's how I do it. So if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Otherwise, I hope that has helped you. Thanks. Bye.